Welcome back. My name is Kit.
It doesn't matter.
I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, Streaming Fallout. We're a TV and film podcast. We talk about a variety of different movies and shows. This series, we're talking about Fallout, the newest show on Prime Video based on the popular video game. And we're in there, boys. We just talked about the premiere the other day. Hope you enjoyed that. We're going to be talking about the finale in 2 days' time. But this episode, we're just going to recap the middle, the meat of the sandwich, episodes 2 through 7. You know, we weren't sure, how do you phrase this? How many people would give a fuck?
I love how delicately you put that.
Yeah. About a show that is going to be binged, you know, in a couple of days. We didn't even know if it was going to be any good when we committed to this. So this is what we decided to do. Good news, the show, pretty darn good. So glad that we're talking about this. This is the kind of the best of the both worlds solution that we came up with. So episodes 2 through 7 is on the table today. So if you have not finished, at least through episode 7, probably don't listen to this. I can't guarantee there won't be some kind of spoilers throughout. So make sure of that.
You have been warned. Much
right.
like a poster on the wall of your vault. There be spoilers present.
That's true. That's true. You can join the Patreon at patreon.com/streamingthings to support the show financially. We would very much appreciate that. And it's not just for us. You get plenty of rewards, bonus content, extra episodes, the ability to vote on polls. April's poll is 4 different dark comedies that Steve and I came up with. Movies like 7 Psychopaths, movies like Death of Stalin.
Love that movie.
Dr. Strangelove, or How to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. And the other movie that I picked that I can't remember that I actually think is winning out of all.
Bodies.
That's right.
Bodies Cubed.
And Bodies Cubed is winning by a healthy margin. You can vote on that and listen to that episode if you're a member of our Patreon, you know. But if you can't support the show financially, we totally understand. We wouldn't want you to put yourself into any kind of financial trouble by supporting this show. You can support us for free by sharing the episodes on social media. Listening to each one, of course, is very helpful. And rating and reviewing the show wherever you're listening to this. That helps us out a lot. We do read those reviews. We got some good ones here recently. Thank you, folks that are doing that.
Yeah, thank you. And if you do want to support the show even more financially, we have more merch at the merch store. Check out the link in the show notes. We're rocking it. I got the I Love shirt.
I love.
I got the silly one. I don't know what.
Little cartoons.
The cartoon one.
Yeah, it's a silly boy. I
like it.
Jimmy is not wearing our merch. It's a cool shirt. Last of Us shirt.
It's a cool shirt.
Throwback to the last time Jimmy was here. That's what that is. I'm also wearing the hat. One of the hats that you can purchase. So bing, bang, boom.
The hat is called the Kit.
For obvious reasons.
Yep.
I wear a hat like this quite often.
Now you wear that hat.
Guys, what's it been like? Because we've been separated, watching the show, delving in greedily and deep to episodes 2 through 7. Jimmy, how are you feeling about, as a longtime fan of the games, how are you feling about the show so far before the finale?
I love the meat, as you put it. I was really
give me the meat. Give it to me raw.
When I watched the first episode, I fell in love with it. Obviously, with all the references to the game and all that. And then I was thinking about it after I had watched it before I started watching the other ones. And I was like, I wonder if people that weren't fans of the game are going to understand what's going on. And I was worried that they were going to leave out a lot of the meat, so to speak, that would kind of explain what's going on in the world, what the Pip Boys are, and just how people live in the wasteland and stuff like that. But after watching 2 through 7, I think they stuck the landing. I think it really opened up even the lore for me. I mean, I play the games religiously, but I never read all the little things that you could find.
There's so much. It's a Bethesda game. So there's so much like literature to read within the game.
I'm a real quick, just press the button and get on with the action.
Do you skip the dialogue?
Sometimes.
Oh, you monster.
Yeah, it really, I guess it just depends on if I'm interested in the current quest, right? If it's like a side quest.
Bullshit. Yeah.
I'm not a skip a cutscene kind of guy, though. Those people should burn.
Agreed.
Yeah. But it opened up the world of Fallout to me. And I'm excited to get back into the game, which I have been playing, but I really liked it. I there was little that I didn't like about 2 through 7.
Awesome.
Steve?
Well, I do think I might be a little bit of an outlier when it comes to reviewing this show. I don't know. I don't know Chris's thoughts, but I have a good idea of where Kit lies in this discussion. But so at the end of episode 1, I think I was a little like, I like this, but I wasn't in love with it. Like it seemed the two of you were. And then episode 2 started. And the way episode 2 starts left me going, oh no, I'm not into where this structure of how the show is. Let me back up and say, in terms of like Fallout and its, dedication to being a true representation of what the games are, I think the show succeeds with flying colors. But I just think how the show is made structurally and how it's being edited together really leaves a lot of room for improvement to me. Like, I think the bones are there. It's just there's something about it that's not going. So for instance, the thing that had me going, oh no, in episode 2 was episode 2 opens up with a dialogueless scene of Dr. Vilzig going about his life set to a 50s doo-wop song, and life gets a little harrowing and hectic and wild and crazy. Boom, Fallout. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then the episode opens up with Lucy, who's going about her day set to a 50s doo-wop song as it gets a little bit more harrowing. And I'm just like, we just fucking watched this. Why are we doing it again? This is a show where almost every episode is plus 60 minutes. And I think you feel every minute. Like I don't feel like this show flows at all. It's only 8 episodes. I feel like it was 15. And I really don't like the Maximus storyline. I think that's the weakest part of the show by far. And I think we agreed on that in the first episode. I think he comes around to it and they do things that I think makes it more interesting. But the first 3 episodes, I was like, can we fucking not? I'm so tired of this dude. But overall, when at the end of episode 7, I was like, okay, I want to see how this is ending. I'm intrigued as to what the main mystery of the show is, but there is something about how they're portraying the world and the way they're bringing stuff from the game to the big screen that isn't translating quite as well as I would like it to. It just feels a little hollow to me. And but yeah, that's my overall general thoughts on the matter. Kit?
I mostly agree with that. I think the show for me has always been really fun. It's the kind of show that I kind of understand, as much as I hated it for the pod, why they dropped it on a binge model. Because the general critical consensus has been that this show is just phenomenal. Just absolutely knocked out of the park video game adaptation. A lot of people are saying better than Last of Us, even like the best video game adaptation we've ever gotten. And I've been a little perplexed. Like, while I really like the show, I am not over the moon about it in that way. I think that I should be. I love ultra violence with a silly flavor.
There's a lot of silly flavors here.
Something like The Boys.
Iguana on a stick.
But I think, I think they do manage that tone really well. As somebody who didn't play the games, the silliness kind of takes me by surprise sometimes. I like the Vault Dweller perspective that Lucy has, and the whole absolute carnage, okie dokie, response is fun for me. But some of the other things really took me by surprise. In episode 2, the doctor gets his leg shot off by Cooper the ghoul. And then the prosthetic that the lady puts on is just like this meat grinder with a foot. And I was like, the fuck? And there's a lot of healing things, like when he heals the dog with the stem pack. Those are direct allusions to what it's like being in a video game world to heal a wound that took me a while to get used to. I don't know about pacing issues that bothered me at all, because I did feel really comfortable and engaged to binge this. I wanted to watch the next episode every time one ended, and I don't always feel that way with shows that I like, But yes, the Maximus storyline, that actor in particular, he's doing a good job. There's nothing overtly bad about what he's doing, but I don't like the character. And I don't think you're supposed to. I think there might even be a villain turn in Maximus's future. I'm not sure.
I hope so. That would make it more interesting.
But yeah, that's definitely the weakest part for me. However, at the end of episode 4, there is a stark turn in the show that's really, really cool. Like, once you put Cooper and the dog together, You get Lucy starting to realize the direness of her situation. We start to get really intriguing Jonathan Nolan style mysteries about what's going on with the vaults and who is in fact, Moldaver. And I really was my interest was peaked, and I was ready to just tear through the rest. And I think it ends. I think it sticks the landing really, really well.
Episode 4 is the best episode so far.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
That's for me where it was like where my binging hit like oh fuck, I'm in for sure. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts. It's like, I don't think it's a complete home run, but I think it's a great show. It's super fun. I'll definitely watch a season 2. And I asked, we'll diverge here. I asked in the last episode, because you said it took place in 2077, and I pushed back a little bit. I was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. It's very 1950s. And you were like, well, it's kind of the aesthetic of the show, but it is the future.
As I was watching the show, I kept thinking like, was that wrong? Like, I could have swore that's how the games were, but in the show, it's very much like, the Red Scare and Hollywood communism and all that stuff.
Yeah. So what it is that's a very intentional choice. It's called retrofuturism. They wanted the vibe of our own real world obsession with nuclear fallout shelters and stuff, but also they needed futuristic technology, and they kind of retconned this reasoning into it. But there's a whole real world backstory to this. The Fallout world exists, and this is from the Fallout Wiki. So for those that don't know, just like I didn't know, the Fallout world, exists in an alternate timeline that diverged from our real world timeline after World War II. So everything in our universe happened in this universe until 1945. And then there was another Great War in 2077. That's the one that causes like the fallout. So it leaves this universe in a stylized representation of 1950s American culture with more advanced technology, right? The science fiction anthology Worlds of Tomorrow greatly influenced the aesthetic of this universe. So the defining moment of the Fallout universe was the Great War of 2077. On October 23rd, 2077, the United States, China, and other nuclear-armed countries commenced a brief but rapid exchange of nuclear weapons. Although the conflict lasted only 2 hours, the destruction it wrought was staggering and complete. More energy was released in the early moments of the war than in all previous global conflicts combined. The world that remained was harsh and unforgiving, even centuries after the... So you guys know this, like centuries later, the world that we see is populated with rogue machines and psychotic mutants and vicious raiders and all kinds of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Most of the events of the series take place in the United States. The first 2 games, Fallout and Fallout 2, which I did not know were in the late 90s.
Yeah, 97, I think, was the first one.
Like, what did these games look like?
They were top-down dungeon crawlers, like old
like a Diablo,
a Diablo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fallout 3 was the first.
Were they on PC?
Yeah.
Okay. Have either of you played them?
Played a little bit of Fallout 2. I never messed with 1.
And the first Fallout game took place in Southern California. And you guys said like all the other ones were all over the country. So it's almost like a return to the origins this show is, more than like a unique diversion. But the whole new California Republic thing is like a huge part of the games, as I understand.
Yeah,
right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That would explain a lot of some of the stuff we'll get into later.
And the third game, Fallout Tactics, took place in the Midwest.
Fallout Tactics, like Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yeah, between Chicago and Colorado. And there was a fourth game, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, that was in northern Texas.
I never even heard of that one.
Fallout 3 was actually the 5th game, set on the East Coast.
I've only played 3 and 4, personally.
And then the 6th game
Love 3.
was Fallout New Vegas. That was 2010. That was in the Mojave Wasteland. And then Fallout 4 was the 7th game. That's the one Steve loves, right?
I love 3.
Oh, you're a 3 man?
I love love.
I love love.
I love love.
And that one went back to the East Coast. I think it was like Boston or something, right? And then the 8th game, Fallout 76, that's like an MMO, right?
Yeah, so that's online. So I think in terms of timeline...
Oh, that's in our hood, Appalachian territories.
Yeah. So I think in terms of timeline, 76 is actually like one of the first games in regards to like after the Great War. So I think the game, why they released that way, I think the timeline goes backwards. So like 76 is just several years after the first vaults open up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It's
like a prequel thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for most of human history, the Fallout universe and the real world shared a common timeline, like I said. But the most visible difference between the timelines is that the engineers focused on advancements in fusion, robotics, and the miniaturization of nuclear reactors. While the miniaturization of electronics was largely neglected. So they don't have
That's why they got a giant wristwatch.
and they don't have like the cell phones and the TVs that we have, but they do have like cold fusion and robot suits and stuff. So in 1969, the United States adopted a system of 13 commonwealths. If you notice in the show, the American flag has 13 stars. That's why there's not the 50 states anymore. They have 13 commonwealths. In 1970, China failed to adopt any free market reforms and remained similar to what it was under Mao Zedong. And in 1991, the USSR did not collapse. These are the differences in the universe of the show and the games.
Gorbachev, keep up that wall.
That's right. No major international conflicts would take place until the middle of the 21st century. In 2052, the oil-rich Middle East nations raised oil prices, causing economic collapse of many. Anyway, if you wanted to know why the war was going on.
You just Lucy'd us. You brought us into a school and you taught us history. You Lucy'd us.
I just thought it was fascinating as somebody who didn't play the games. And I asked that question about why is it like this? There's like a real world reason.
I don't know. We just play.
Shooty shoot. Boop, boop.
You just heard me say I skipped all the important shit in the game.
Just choose the right perks, man. I don't know. But there's all kinds of spinoffs too, like Fallout Pinball, Fallout Shelter.
Dude,
Fallout Shelter is like a mobile game, right?
Yeah, I played the hell out of Fallout Shelter a while ago. Yeah, it's just a fun, like you build like different little rooms.
Yeah.
And then you can bring people into your vault and give them roles.
Do they have experiments in those?
You can experiment on them. Yeah.
And did you buy Fallout the role playing game?
What?
Is that the board game that you bought?
Oh, yeah.
So we bought that.
Fantasy Flight.
We might get that. And then there's also a Magic the Gathering Fallout coming out this year, or already came out. Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, there's gonna be so much stuff dropping now. Yeah.
What's Fallout's back, baby?
Apple Pip-Boy is coming out.
Anywho,
I think that's a thing you can download for your Apple Watch is the Pip-Boy loadout.
Oh, really?
For your Apple Watch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a thing that exists.
I thought about it just getting huge. Everybody walking around with giant Pip-Boys on their wrist, like
you got like
hipster clothes.
You got like a tablet attached to a wristband. It's like one of those iPad Nanos or whatever they were, the smaller iPads.
Yeah. But the whole revelation that Cooper is the Vault Boy was neat. And I think I can safely say that Walton Goggins carries this show for me.
Yeah,
especially by the end. I just think that it leaves, I think it does a great job. Like ultimately, the show builds certain characters. Maximus becomes less insufferable throughout. For me, it doesn't flower completely, but I love Lucy, Ella Purnell's character. I love even what they did with like people like Norm and Chet. I was completely uninterested, but I became more interested.
Norm was the biggest surprise for me because in the first like 2 or 3 episodes, literally every time they cut back to Norm, I'm like, fuck off. I don't care.
Sad boy.
I'm like yelling at my screen, like, get this 55 or 16-year-old man off my screen. But then by the end of the episode, or by the end of episode 7, like his storyline is probably the most intriguing. Like
full on Nancy Drew.
Yeah, this the best thing this show does is sort of explore the role of the vaults and how they began, and a lot of that is Walton Goggins' character with the flashbacks of his time as Cooper before the war kicked off everything. It's that stuff is the most intriguing to me for the show. But yeah, you're right. Norm, I think they did a complete 180 on because by the end of episode 7, I'm like, okay, I want to know what happens to Norm. Like, does he figure it out? What's going on with Vault 31?
Yeah. How tall is Moises Arias?
I don't know. He looks like a short king.
Is that Norm?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess 5'4".
Oh, at the most.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were looking at it. No. I thought you Googled it.
I bet it does have. Yeah. How tall? I could have.
We asked the important questions here on streaming things.
Exactly. He's 5'1".
Wow.
Dang. He's doing great work there.
Yeah.
That's doing great work. That's a little guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately we get into episode 2. We get that. I like the shootout in Philly.
Oh yeah. The shootout's dope.
And it's cool because I don't know anything about ghouls yet. And he's just getting shot in the back. And I'm like, okay. In fact, after watching the show, I still don't know what ghouls are, but we'll get into that in the finale discussion. But yeah, the whole shootout's great. And I like that they really throughout this show, they let Cooper go there. Like he's not just an anti-hero. He's straight.
Yeah.
He kills a dog. for a second. You're like,
For a second,
I was like,
he kills a dog.
I was like, nobody's gonna like him now. Like that's the cardinal rule of TV. Like you can't anti-hero somebody who has killed a dog.
Yeah.
I thought that was bad news bears, but I was so happy when he gave it the stem pack at the end.
What about that scene where they just throw the puppy in the incinerator?
Oh, casually
open up episode 2 and they're like, and I was like, oh no.
And that puppy, and they had that, they're like, noise.
It's like, oh man, this is.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
And it was fun seeing Michael Emerson as Dr. Velzig.
Yeah, that's your favorite Lost character, right?
Yeah. Love to hate him. Love to hate him. He's so good. I was really sad that he's not in the show a lot more. You just get to see his disembodied head for most of it. But I think the shootout scene at the end of episode 2 is probably the height in terms of action that the series has so far. Like I think the action scene is actually like pretty well done.
Yeah.
And I don't think the rest of the show quite catches back up to that at any point, which is fine. But that scene is really good because it marries the action, it marries the character of Cooper, and the side characters are working really well at that point too. Because you got Ma June and Barv, who are
hilarious.
I wish I wish we would go back to them. Hopefully we go back to them episode 8. I don't know, but like it's this really fun little exchange, and it's brutal too. Like his bullets are like pulling huge ass holes in people. And there's that scene where he shot a guy in the neck, and you just see that guy like struggling in the foreground for a while, and he ends up just sitting next to him and is just kind of looking at him.
He's like, I would offer you a cherry tomato, but you got a hole in your neck.
You got a hole in your neck.
Can we talk about somebody who people love to hate, and that's Michael Rappaport?
Yes.
his face finally.
Yeah.
We talked about that in the first episode. And then
you said you kind of like that was a spoiler because like if he had taken his helmet off and I was like Michael fucking Rappaport, I would have been like holy shit, because there's that whole scene where he's like running from the radioactive bear.
Yao Guai is what that creature's called.
Yao Guai.
Yeah. He's like,
don't feed it after midnight.
Give me the stim back,
dude. Because when we last episode when I looked at IMDb and it credited Knight Titus as Michael Rappaport, it was funny. And as I started watching episode 2, I'm like, is it? I don't know. And then when he goes, oh shit, fuck, like, oh, there he is. Okay, they're just doing something with his voice. Okay,
I'm pretty sure a large population of the people that watch this were with Maximus when they're like, don't give it to him.
1,000%. So
don't give
Michael
such a little
Rappaport
bitch.
has always been annoying to many people.
Yeah.
But recently he's been very outspoken against the people in support of Palestine.
Yeah.
And so had he been like a main character that lived, people probably wouldn't have even watched the show. But since he just is a complete piece of shit coward that dies immediately, they were like, it was worth him getting a paycheck.
For sure.
you fucking suck. This is your fault.
Yeah.
I just wanted Dunkin' Donuts, and then we had to go into this fucking cave.
They got us out here looking for these toasters.
Yeah, he's completely disenfranchised Brotherhood of Steel and
cleanness.
You clean my jock strap.
Yeah, that's the whole That's the whole running joke is clean where my balls touch on the armor.
Yeah,
but just wipe it with your jacket and slap
not
it
the
back
curtain
on.
though. Just the
they need a curtain to clean that thing with for sure. Yeah, I really like that was a good like follow up episode, but I was like less sold on the show after episode 2.
I was too.
There was a lot of flaws I felt like in the editing and again some of the over the top silliness when I was kind of like, oh no, I don't know. But I wasn't completely brought back in until episode 4.
Did you like the farmer in episode 2?
Oh yeah, the diaper. I wrote diaper guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
She's like, "Did you try putting water in your water filter?" And he's like, "Oh, interesting."
Thank you for not killing me.
Yeah,
It was my pleasure to not kill you.
You should stick around and be my wife. I'm pretty sure I'm dying.
Yeah,
you don't have to put up for me long. No, I'm okay. Thank you. Yeah. That's a whole thing. I don't remember. One of my favorite characters is the chicken fucking doctor.
Oh yeah.
Is that in episode 2 or 3?
Well, he shows up. I think it's in 2 because that's when Titus is learning this.
First
suit.
gets the armor.
Yeah, it's
Max
like the first
gets it.
person he saves, quote unquote.
Yeah, I love that. He's like, one of his first lines is, scientists always get the short end of the short straw because we're adventurous. And he's talking about fucking chickens, is what you find out later. He saves the guy. He runs away, and this other guy's like, "Sorry, he was fucking my chickens." And Max just looks over like, "What? God damn it!
Damn it!"
It was
really
episode
funny.
2. I fucking chickens.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I was glad that guy kind of keeps popping up randomly throughout the series.
Oh, yeah.
Like you just kind of see him running around in the background, and then he comes back in, I think, episode 7 in a pretty big way.
Have you seen what happens in episode 3? Walk me through.
So episode 3 is where we kind of get you get the flashback of Cooper making the man from Dead Horse, and he doesn't like having to kill his buddy. Thaddeus joins Maximus. That's when the gulper steals the head, and
right.
Cooper's using Lucy.
And he's
as
got
bait.
Lucy.
Yeah.
And the whole bit about how torture don't work.
Yeah. Why are you torturing me, sir? I ain't torturing you. Using you as bait.
They did a study. They used to do a thing called studies.
Can you believe that?
I love Walton Goggins so goddamn much.
I could listen to him talk all the time.
Were you guys aware from playing the games that they need that radioactive medicine to not turn feral? Because like the whole bit when she breaks all of his little things in the backpack was like a nothing to me. I was like, what does that even mean?
I'm pretty sure that's added into the show. Like, I don't think that was a thing in the game. I think the games are just like, oh, you're a ghoul. Eventually over time, you'll lose your mind depending on how badly you were subjected to the radiation. But in this, they kind of add this little bit of lore that you can take that medicine to keep you from going feral longer.
He's been at it for 200 years.
But I kind of like that ad in a way. I like it because it does kind of give the ghoul like a little bit more agency, and he is fallible. Because if you have a character that's like, I can just soak up bullets and I'm not in trouble, but this gives him a little bit of like,
how do you kill a ghoul in the game? Is it like a zombie? You just shoot him in the head?
Shoot him.
You just shoot him, yeah.
But they don't absorb bullets in the game?
No. Well, no. I've killed them with like traps.
They're harder to kill than normal human beings, but like you can still kill them.
But the healing thing isn't like the Wolverine healing is not a thing.
I think they did that just for his character being so old and irradiated, basically. I think they just kind of gave that to him.
Yeah.
It is neat that he's been around since the world was the way it was before, you know?
Did you like his golden rule? It
Yes.
says thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit.
Which is like goddamn time.
Yeah, which is basically about the game.
That's the golden rule of this podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. We have it stitched on a blanket on the wall.
By bullshit every goddamn time. I love that you can describe this show in one sentence pretty well. It's a bunch of different people who are trying to get head in the wasteland.
I was waiting for the head comment. Got to get the head.
Gotta get head.
They're all upset about the MacGuffin, which is head. And they're all just so eager for it.
A bunch of bros watching this like, every time. Hell yeah.
Anything that Walton Goggins' character says. And then episode 4, that's the big one where Steve, what about this episode was the big turn for you, Steve?
Well, one big turn is that it didn't have Maximus in it. So we got to focus on like the characters that I actually like care about and think they were doing interesting things. But also you get to see the Cooper and Lucy kind of interact. Lucy kind of comes into her own and becomes a badass through her time in the Super Duper Mart. You can see Matt Berry as Snip Snip, the robot, which is just so fucking, I love Matt Berry so much.
Is he from What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah, he's Laszlo.
I like how they bring him back too.
Codsworth.
Yeah, Codsworth. Bartholomew Codsworth.
This is how we talk in Arizona.
This is how we talk in Arizona, baby. Just the way the robot talks to her. She's like, there's this man and he was going to try to sell me to people. And he's like, that sounds terribly interesting. It's so good.
I thought you were going to sexually assault me. Oh, I would never.
I would never. I'm just going to harvest your organs. And just the dialogue between Lucy and Cooper is really good where she bites off his finger, so he cuts off hers.
That's the most honest transaction we've had.
Yeah, and then like at the very end when she kind of gets the best of him and she has proven how badass she is, she's like, golden rule, motherfucker, and like gives him the vials to save him. Like it's really good. That's like the best character moment. And also it's the first time they start leading little breadcrumbs as to what happened to Shady Sands.
And we have the Cheeto-fingered Stranger Things character guy, Stoner on the couch.
Yeah.
The guy who runs the arcade.
Yeah.
I love him, dude.
Yeah, we can do 60.
They're just watching Cooper's old movies. No, you're right. I think that is the best episode. And that was for me where I was like, this show is on to something.
She says something to them. She's got Codsworth like hostage, and she says something to them, and he's like, "Lady, he's a fucking robot."
That's like holding an air conditioner hostage.
Air conditioning sounds nice.
Yeah, I'd probably be more concerned. That's great. In which she had loaded up some like Drano or something in the syringes.
The Abraxo.
Yeah, Braxo.
Is that from the game?
Yep.
I really like this episode too. I liked the end of it because you see her when she comes out of that situation, that interaction. She's like geared up, like she's got the leather armor.
She's got the leather armor. Yeah,
she's missing the Vault Tech top, and she's just like geared up.
I was
ready
upset
to go.
that they went back to her because it seemed like a growth of her character that she was becoming less like vaulty.
Yeah.
And then later on, she's just zipped up and perky again.
Oh, you're the best place in the world, a vault.
Yeah. And I was like, what? That's kind of lame.
Yeah.
That's armor you can get in the game, right?
Yeah.
The leather thing?
Leather armor.
Yeah. It's like, what level do you think you would be if you were Lucy at the end of this, like, at least through episode 7?
It must be about 5.
Yeah, pretty
5
low
or
still.
6. Like
she's still using pretty low weapons.
Yeah, she's got
she's still using that trank gun.
Yeah. She picks up the classic 10mm, which is a spitting image of the game, which is awesome.
I want that gun that Maximus uses as a Brotherhood of Steel guy.
Oh yeah, the big
revolver?
silver.
It's a revolver kind of thing.
Yeah.
It fucking looks dope. I want that. I bet you could buy it. I'm going to buy it on Etsy or something.
Hold on, let me buy it.
There it is.
Episode 5 is where the mystery really starts to kick up, I think, right? Because we get like what's going on with Vault 31? And Norm really starts sleuthing pretty hard at this point. He's already been sus of Betty. Fucking Betty.
Fucking Betty. All the overseers are from Vault 31, including his dad.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird. What's going on
Chet's
there?
like, I don't think it's weird,
I'm a coward.
I just started getting laid from somebody who's not my cousin. Yeah, she's got an eye patch, but it's progress.
Is this the episode where he goes, "That's a wet woman"?
Yeah. And she stands
when
up.
she starts giving birth?
Yeah, she stands up and her water breaks.
I don't think that's this one, but it might have already happened. But either way, that was amazing.
God,
He was like, oh, wow, I am doing it for you.
I was so taken aback when he just said that.
No, I think it is because that's where they're giving everybody fucking Jello cake, and I'm like, why?
They love Jello cake.
Love Jello cake.
Take that jelly mold back. I'll never forget Zach's
jelly bowl back.
his line delivery of
flip.
that. Do a flip. I fucking love that. And then we find out.
I do need a YouTube series of just Zach Cherry's character and the other guy that seem to be best friends. Is it Reg? Is that his name?
Oh, Reg. They both run for office.
It's just the two of them just being bros in the vault. I do kind of want to see like a bunch of YouTube shorts about those two.
Yeah, we could do with a little spinoff of what's going on in their heads for sure.
Let's get some Jello cake.
Take that jelly mold back. And then we get the increasing of the mystery because Maximus and Lucy start to talk. I think this is the episode where they do that. And we see Shady Sands. What we later find out is Shady Sands and the crater there. And he says, the bombs fell when I was a kid, and Reclamation Day already happened, and it's just confusing. It looks like he's misinformed, but you're like, oh, I wonder what's really going on there.
Yeah. What's the truth? We get a call out from the fans of Streaming Things at the end of this episode.
Really?
Yeah. When they see the two people on the bridge and they have the hold up and they end up killing them and they're like, "Whoa!" She's like, "Why?" And they're like, they're fiends.
Oh, our
people that eat other people, just like our fans.
Yeah.
The stream fiends. I'm
And
so
by
glad
other
to see
people-
you guys in there.
We mean ass.
Yeah.
What about ass jerky?
Mystery meat.
That was episode 4.
Yeah, that'll be-
He's like, that ass jerky ain't gonna cut itself.
I know. I was like, what the fuck?
And then every now and then it keeps cutting to the
So
the
it's like
ass
flash.
flaps just flapping around with his backpack.
Probably pretty tasty for real.
If you were going to eat any part of a human, it would definitely be the ass.
Yeah.
But it's also ghoul ass though.
I love the
Probably easily
cool
leathered.
ass. Yeah.
It's probably already halfway there, so you just gotta let it dry out.
I love that he
That
eats
was one of my
people,
favorites.
kills dogs, and everybody still loves it.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite scenes when they talked to Roger. And
Yeah, Roger,
it's heartbreaking.
was Roger played by, who's the Liquid Terminator?
The Liquid Terminator. Oh,
No.
I don't think it's him. Robert Patrick. Is
Is
that
it,
who you're thinking of?
yeah, I thought it was Robert Patrick briefly.
Is it? That would be dope if it was. I don't think it is.
No.
But no,
actually,
Roger's
between-
played by Neil Huff.
What's he in? Because I
Who
thought
is
he was
Neil
in some
Huff?
other things.
He's in Spotlight. He's in Moonrise Kingdom.
Good movies.
Big Daddy.
Good movie.
What's he look like?
You're laughing. That's a damn good movie. It's
Well,
not
we
as
solved
cool
that
as-
mystery.
It's not as cool as Robert
It's
Patrick.
not Robert Patrick. Robert Patrick wouldn't have let them make his ass jerky. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
he would have
for
like
sure.
T1000 ran out of that room.
Yeah.
My name's Roger.
Ass jerky ain't gonna cut itself.
I thought after he killed him, he was eating him to try to stop the turn, and I didn't know he was just eating him for substance.
Yeah, he just wanted ass jerky. I'm out of cherry tomatoes.
He's like, sometimes you got to eat a fella out here.
Sometimes you got to eat ass in the wasteland.
Yeah.
I used to do it back before the war. I've been eating ass a long time. This episode of Streaming Things is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's the first thing you'd do if you had an extra hour in your day?
Sleep
You would sleep more.
more, yeah.
Okay,
Sleep
that's
more.
fair. Some people might go for a run, read an extra book. A lot of us spend our whole lives wishing we had more time. The question is, time for what? If time was unlimited, how would you use it? The best way to squeeze that special thing into your schedule is to know what's important to you and make it a priority. That's what therapy can do. Therapy can help you find what matters to you so that you can do more of it. You can learn positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. You can get empowered to be the best version of yourself.
You can also nap.
You can also just nap. So if you're thinking about starting therapy, if you've never tried it, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/streamingthings today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/streamingthings.
April is here, the tomb is empty, and it's time to give a special thanks to all of our patrons who keep the lights on at Streaming Things. And I want to give a special shout out to our super patrons for the month of April. Thank you so much to Stanton Valentino, Maddlestat, Bryce Coppin, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Sunshine, Huckleberry Cauliflower, Ashley Hazen, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, Emily Scarano, Lil Tickler, Svento7, Jay Scramo, Bluff Pum, A.K. Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Wendy O'Laughlin, Jason Hawkins, Conrad, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, John Collins, Amanda King, Trisha Bueller, Sun Loving, Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Jen Robinson, Kalisha Reeves, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Ashley Powers, Stephen the Fifth, Casey McCain, and Enza. Thank you all so much from the bottom of our hearts. And with that, let's get back to the episode.
Episode 6 is where we really get a ton of backstory on Cooper, and we meet the voice actor that will be Snip Snip later on.
Bartholomew Codsworth.
Yeah.
You run the best business, baby. War is where it's going to be, yet we have to sell commodities. I'm a commodity, you're a commodity. We're the slickest bastards in New York City.
Yeah.
Matt Berry's a treasure. Just watch everything he's in.
I don't even watch What We Do in the Shadows because I'm a real piece of shit.
Fuck you.
I've seen a movie and that's it.
Yeah, same. But I've seen the super edits of all of Matt Berry's lines from that show. So many, they're so fucking funny.
Yeah.
He just says the funniest shit. And I'm like, God, I got to watch that show. And then I just don't.
He's so fucking good.
Do you know what the most beautiful thing in the world is? Fucking. Like every time I see those, I just...
Things I can do. I can trim any bush into the shape of a vulva.
I have seen that episode. He's cutting all the bushes into vaginas. He's my best friend. He's my pal, my homeboy, my rotten soldier, my sweet cheese, my good time boy. Anyway,
Oh, man.
I know all those lines and yet have not seen the show because it's so fucking iconic.
You got to watch that show. He's great.
He shows up in this show. And then this is where we realize, like, we see some backstory of the original Vault 4 and how the science, what's better than a scientist running the world?
I love how you get that one little clip. I don't remember if it's in this episode or the next one where the scientist is like, I really think that it still was a great idea to give scientists unregulated power over people to conduct any experiments they want.
Yeah.
Don't let this dissuade
all that
you.
shit's going on in the back.
Help me.
Yeah.
And it's his great uncle. So they get
The
dropped
monster
into
is his great
Vault
uncle.
4.
Which is the first one, right? That's the one that Coop was promoting.
Yep. And you must be in one of the good vaults, you know? And I like how I was telling Steve before you got here, but you like unintentionally spoil it a little bit. Not really, because most people watching the show are going to be fans of the games anyway. Right. But it was something I didn't know. You know, you were just kind of casually like, yeah, they're running all these different experiments in each vault. And that was like the big reveal of this show. Yeah.
Whoops.
But, you know, I didn't even know enough to know that meant anything at the time. But yeah, she's from one of the good vaults.
I can see Chris Parnell as a vault overseer. I love Chris Parnell. He's the dude with the one eye.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's such a great actor. I have
it. Says Goosey right here.
There are a lot of really good. Fred Armiston was in this.
Fred Armiston was
just out of
We're not ready to talk about Fred Armiston yet, because I fucking love that.
But Chris Parnell made a joke that I'm like, that's 100% a Chris joke. It was when these people, I just can't tell jokes around them. Like, I would tell you this joke, but it bombed.
Yeah. She doesn't get it.
She doesn't get it.
I like when he puts on the glasses and like
it's just the one eye in the middle. It's so stupid.
When he drinks with his coffee mug, like, I picked a moldy one.
Because he's got the old coffee cups there still. Yeah. We run into Charlie the commie in like a previous in the before times.
The before times. Oh, his friend.
And the Hollywood Forever crew.
I laugh
headed
so hard.
by Moldaver.
I laugh so hard when they're at the bar. He's at the bar with Cooper and he's like, you remember when we were making that movie and I played a generic Indian? And he's like, nah, man, you played whatever the character's name with such grace. It's like, come on, dude.
It's a good role for you.
Come on.
Yep. A little knock at how Hollywood actually is.
Yeah.
But they tell Lucy not to get, they tell Goosey not to get to level 12 under any circumstances.
Nope, says Goosey here.
And then we get this is the episode that pissed all of the neckbeards off, because this is where we get the isolated timeline on the whiteboard of what happened to Shady Sands and the New California Republic. And this is where people decided that it's retconning Fallout New Vegas and that the show is trash and it's trying to ruin the video games and it's woke and it's going to go broke. Which is fucking absurd, but hey,
it's
what
just
are you
changing
do?
the numbers of the year, right?
No, yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Who the fuck cares?
I think it just means that slightly different year that Shady Sands would have taken place.
Or are you telling me in the post-apocalyptic wasteland, they don't have their timelines matched up together?
Right.
Wow. What a concept.
Shady Sands was a huge like settlement in like some of the early games. I remember it specifically in 2. I'm not sure if it's in 3, but I know it's just they wanted to put it in there and make it a big part of the story. So
yeah. And so at this point, we know that Maximus was a denizen of Shady Sands, and then it was blown up. He survived by being in like a refrigerator, and then the Brotherhood of Steel came through.
You watched Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull?
It works. Yeah, it's true.
It works.
And then
so there's actually a mission in Fallout 4 where you go to save a kid in a refrigerator. So that they're saying that that was a throwback with the Indiana Jones reference, and then I think it's called Kid in the Fridge is the name of the quest.
Kid in a Fridge.
It's a child, a super mutant that's inside the fridge. But
very cool.
You guys both played Dead Space, right?
I love Dead Space.
Did you guys know that
I
the
love
first letter of each chapter spells out Nicole is dead?
Yeah, it spoils the game. What? Yeah. Like the first letter in each chapter. Yep. It's so cool. It gives away the twist.
I don't know who Nicole is, but I was
like, whoa. That's Isaac's girlfriend. The whole reason he's at the ship is he's trying to save his girlfriend who was stationed there.
Yeah. She's dead the whole time.
Yeah. But you see her, like she talks to you throughout the game, but it's because the item, I forget what they call it, that like totem that is causing all the stuff infects your mind and makes you hallucinate. So he's been hallucinating her this whole time because the marker, that's what it's called. Yeah. The marker wants him to do all this stuff. So you're like technically working for the villain of the game for much of it because it's tricking you.
Poor Nicole.
Yeah, she was dead the whole time.
And it was right there in the game trying to tell you.
If you just read the chapters.
Yeah. Crazy.
I just wanted to like get excited about something that means nothing to me with you guys when I read that on Twitter yesterday. By the way, sorry for anyone who's currently playing Dead Space. Stop to listen to the podcast.
Spoiler alert for a 16-year-old game.
I can't believe it's that old, by the way.
They just released, they just remade it
last year.
You were playing it, right? That game scares the fuck out of me.
I went through like a horror genre, like Callisto Protocol, and then I went into that, which are basically the same game.
And you played that naked ass cheek game, Alan Wake 2?
Oh, yeah. Alan Wake is a great game, but
there's a lot of cheeks in it.
Yeah,
that's why I like it.
Yeah. They clap.
But we find out that Moldaver is the Flame Mother, and we get to see the denizens of Vault 4 pulling their tits out and doing this ceremony.
Oh, yeah. It's nice.
Where they like they're like drinking blood, rubbing the ashes of Shady Sands on their bodies.
Yeah.
And Lucy's like trying to like, oh, I'll just do whatever.
Like, I'll play along.
When in Rome,
She like kind of
zips a little bit.
She's like, nah.
But it's also like when she finds out about the ashes and stuff, she's like, oh, wait a second.
What?
Yeah.
So
I don't mind an orgy every now and then, but this is too far.
So let's go back just to the when Maximus and Lucy they're in quarantine and they're talking and she's like,
oh yeah,
so you want to have sex?
She's very sex forward.
He's like, nah, that weird thing might happen.
At the end of the episode, do you want to make my cock explode now?
Yeah.
I love how he's like, that weird thing might happen. It happens to other dudes, not me, but it happens with other guys.
You know, that happens every time.
Your dick gets swollen and explodes.
It pops like a pimple and she's like, no, it pretty much happens all the time. Go for it, Lucy.
And he was eating oysters beforehand. Like, aren't oysters like an aphrodisiac? So he's like, you want to make my cock explode?
Yeah.
Just the way he asked that so earnestly, the line delivery was perfect. It's like, Max is growing on me now.
So the stuff on Vault 4, everything that happens in Vault 4. What? Like, I'm still confused by everything that happens in Vault 4. Like, I don't fully understand why they worship Moldaver as this entity that
the Flame Mother.
Pull the titties out and rub blood and ashes all over themselves. I'm not sure why that's a thing they do, but hey, you know, I'm not judging. And then like the stuff where like she goes onto, was it like level 12? Is that what
she
it
does
is?
go to level 12.
Yeah. Don't go to level 12. There's a button on the elevator and anyone can go there at any time, but just don't. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you want to know how to use the toilets, come ask me.
I'm tired of cleaning that up.
Yeah, she goes down there. She sees like there's like a tank of gulpers, and then she sees a video of like a pregnant woman giving birth to a bunch of gulpers that then start eating her.
Yeah. Are gulpers the thing that she fought for the head?
Yeah, yeah. And then there's like a bunch of other people that are in stasis pods as well, and they like, oh, we're gonna banish you from the like.
That whole turn is hilarious.
That turn is hilarious, but like I still am kind of like. What's going on at this vault?
You're letting me go? That's an optimistic way of looking at it.
He's like, we really should sharpen this.
Which is why it's really mean. So I'm going to give you 2 weeks of supplies.
Can I ask a question? Yes, someone will help you carry it to the door.
It's so great.
Parnell's amazing. I just,
No, you're
Vault
right.
4
My
is
understanding
so
is
weird
that
and I don't fully grasp what's
they
happening.
are all the descendants of horrid experiments that happened in Vault 4.
And they're
Vault
letting
4,
the remnants of Shady Sands into the vault with
They
them.
do because the actual leaders of that vault were killed by the Gulper that was his great uncle. And so they've kind of been running themselves ever since. What's going on level 12 is somehow remnants of those experiments that looks like they're doing it, but they're not. They're just taking care of them. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is what I meant. It's what I meant to understand. Is they're not actually performing any experiments. They're just like.
So they were just like, oh man, Beth got eaten by her baby gulpers. That sucks. Oh well. Like I
What
don't
else would
fully
they do?
understand that.
What do you mean? What's the alternative?
She gives birth to the baby gulpers and then you like pull her out of the water.
They just like watched it happen.
I imagine they
And
would.
then you drop some deviled eggs in the tank and let them go to town.
Yeah. Yum yums.
Is that what you use for bait in the games for golfers or something?
I just love the fact that deviled eggs exist.
Thinking that the gulper was after the head too.
That's everybody wanted. That's just on brand for gulpers.
Yeah, for sure.
That was Steve's nickname in high school.
Yeah,
Sure was.
yeah.
Gulper, the gulper.
The gulper. I just really like milk.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But we also realized that Cooper knew Moldaver. That's weird. All kinds of stuff that isn't clear yet is going on. As far as her being the Flame Mother, I don't know why they're like pulling their boobs out and rubbing and drinking blood and stuff. That seems a little overkill.
Yeah.
But it's obvious that she is like the leader of the resistance. They feel very strongly for her, maybe too strongly. Some could argue after this ceremony.
Can I say one thing?
Always.
This is a little bit of an aside about this show.
Golden rule, buddy. Go on.
It was something about this show that the show kept blue balling me. All right.
Okay.
For sure.
What do I say a lot on this podcast when it
Let them
comes
fuck?
to
You wanna see dicks?
Let them fuck. Let me see that dick. Yes, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad someone's listening to the show. Let me see that dick. This show, I think, takes the goddamn blue ribbon in terms of like, here's a show where it's like, we're going to see that dick. No, we don't. There's a little bit of reflection that hides it. And I was so, every time, like, we're going to finally see it. The titties are coming out.
Yeah.
I'm going to see a dick come out too. Where is it? Every time. It's blue balling me. It's like tickling me. It's like getting up there. It's like Gucci Gucci.
So
Gucci.
would you have been happy if instead of fingers in the gulper's mouth, it was a bunch of dicks?
Oh,
Oh my God. I'm coming. I would have loved it.
Or there
so
was
much.
a version of the gulper which had a bunch of wangs.
Oh man,
teeth.
that's a smile I could enjoy all day. You know
Steve
what I'm saying?
would want to be gulped by that thing.
Let me see them dicks.
That is heaven going all the way down, and they take forever to digest. What was Cooper's plan, by the way? He's like, it's all right. They take a long time to digest. It'll be fine. Let me go hike 6 miles in the other direction. Oh, he was just going to refill and then come back.
Yeah.
Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Because that's why he kept her around, because she's got the tracker.
Right.
So he would just go get his nummies
drugs.
and then go. And then
Well, that's
come
another
back.
thing that the show does different from the games, right? Is that the Pip-Boy cannot come off. Is that correct?
No, I think
It
it
does.
comes off.
Really?
Yeah.
I think like they show people without it on at some point, but I think maybe it doesn't quite work as well.
Interesting.
I'm not really sure, honestly.
I mean,
Somebody just commented
that's
that
a
on my
good
video,
question.
but I was wondering.
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah. I think it's like grafted onto them or something.
Because Barb takes hers off a ton.
No, because in the game at the beginning of specifically Fallout 4, you go and pick it up and put it on. And in 76, when you leave the vault, you have to find it and put it on.
Oh, interesting.
So
that guy can suck nuts.
Yeah, he can get gulped.
No, not get gulped. He can gulp.
Dang.
Which brings us to episode 7. And again, this is what I mean about Cooper's anti-hero status. I could not believe that he killed Tommy. I mean, it's such a cool Western thing to do. It's a classic, like even Kill Bill does it, where it's like, when you grow up and you want to kill me, you come find me. You know, like that's a whole thing that happens a lot. And then he's just like, just kidding, I'm gonna kill you right now.
Yeah. He
in his
made
defense,
him do it.
The kid starts to draw a gun on him.
He drew on him, but
he knew what he was doing.
He's so accurate. There's no, like later.
I don't know. Those bullets will going to blow up that gun.
He could have shot the gun out of his hand. He could have shot him in the leg.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
He just doesn't like Tommy.
Yeah, fuck Tommy.
That poor dad, though. His
Yeah.
oldest is dead. He killed 2 of his kids.
Yeah.
But at least he's got his nice daughter.
That wasn't George Lopez, was it?
Absolutely not.
I thought it
Under
was.
no circumstances was that George Lopez.
I thought for sure it was. I was like, yeah, all right.
Definitely not, man.
Big fan of Spy Kids, Jimmy?
And Blue Beetle.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's great in Blue Beetle.
Yeah. I did like the little gag where they're like, honey, they're looking for the daughter, and he's just like eating chicken or something. And there's this little bit where he's like, did you eat my daughter? And she just walks and gives him.
You
more
thought.
food. Oh, that's fucked up. That's weird. Everyone knows I just eat ass.
Yeah. You want some jerky?
Thaddeus's foot from where it was stepped on is fucking gnarly.
This is what I want to say. When they introduced Thaddeus to tag along with Maximus, it immediately makes the scenes with Maximus more endurable. Because I think I like the energy that the Thaddeus character brings to that dynamic.
Yeah.
And how they, by the end of it, they're just broing out like, yeah, we got the head. They're like,
It's so funny.
they're doing the Danny McBride high fives to each other.
Brand me, bro.
Dude, brand me.
No,
And then he
it
tells
really
him
hurts.
after he brands him, which is hilarious. Like,
Oh, man, I shouldn't have let you brand me.
And when Thaddeus is with the dog later, it's really funny too. It's cute when he's like limping along. I did not expect, he took his shoe off. I forgot he got stepped on.
Oh, that foot
And
looks
his fucking toes just fall to the side. He's like, oh, I'm going to die.
and we get to meet the chicken fucker again. Thaddeus runs into the chicken fucker.
I love that. And he's trying to kill himself. He's like putting his toe on the trigger and then he sees him. He's like, oh, hey.
We also see that guy in
funny, dude.
We also see that guy in Philly too when they're walking through the market. What are they trying to fix? And he's in the background like, I got this.
They're trying to fix the doctor's foot that was blown off. I have tinctures that help feet.
He's like a snake oil salesman in the future.
But he's not wrong. He does have something that'll make it go back.
Everybody just thought he's bullshitting because he fucks chickens.
Just inject him with a bunch of radiation and turn him into a ghoul.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I'm confused about how ghouls work. Because he gives Thaddeus that like inhaler that turns him into a ghoul, right? And apparently you guys are saying it's different than the games, but it seemed like something that would happen to everybody over prolonged exposure to the normal radiation outside.
Yeah.
In this universe, that's true, but it's also true that the stuff that they like to drink is what also makes them a ghoul. And it made it look like when he gets shot with the arrow at the end of episode 7, when it heals scarred like the ghoul skin. It's almost as if to imply they look normal until they heal enough times, which can't be true. Because like the lady ghoul that we met in episode 4 that was locked up. Yeah.
Why'd you say that name?
Yeah,
I had that note written down.
I was like, Martha.
But there's no way she was living such an adventurous life that, she got scarred like that.
Dude, Martha plays.
Anywho, but spoiler alert for our next segment. Well, I won't even say that. Maximus and Lucy kiss, and we get Fred Armisen.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters. I mean, the whole...
Of course they have Fred Armisen playing a music snob.
The whole bit about him like in the mids and Thaddeus just trying to pretend like he understands like, oh, the mid. Oh, there they are. Yeah.
Thaddeus is the character I surprisingly felt more and more attuned with throughout the series. Like when he's having this conversation with Fred Armisen, I'm like, I 100% do that with people.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. There it is, the mids.
And he's like, no, it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Says something like, oh, it's out there. And he's like, no, it's actually in there. But
yeah, it's on there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a random.
Honestly, I feel like I'm Fred Armisen, unfortunately. I'm talking to somebody about movies or something.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But not as cool as Fred. I also like when he peeks out while they're kissing and he's like, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then keeps slamming the door for safety.
Oh, he's all those. He's like, I really like your booby traps. You did well. And he just looks around. There's like 8 people and
I love how there's just a human-sized mouse trap.
Yeah.
It's one of his
It's
traps.
like, how'd you miss that?
Right.
Who do you think gave rat poison to the Raiders? Was it Steph?
Ooh, I thought it was
Norm?
Betty.
Really?
Yeah.
But really?
Yeah. I think it's because I don't think it's Norm. I think because Norm wants to do it.
Yeah, Norm wanted to, but it seemed confused when it happened.
I think it was Betty too. Just how Vault 31 is. I think
Steph's from Vault 31, and Steph was the one that was like, "We're not going to let this slide." And
it's definitely one of those
3.
two. It's one of Betty or Steph, but it plays into the whole like we are the people who are controlling this situation. I think.
Interesting.
Yeah,
because the Raiders they're about to start shaping up. I think they were eating. They were eating now.
They were going to have one more talk with Zach Cherry, and they were going to turn around.
We kind of want to know what this jelly mold thing's all about.
I think you guys are ready. Bring in the jelly mold.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly
mold.
And I love that Cooper's back with the dog because Thaddeus puts it in the refrigerator, the Nuka-Cola refrigerator, and
you can breathe in there, right?
Oh yeah.
And there's that whole
window.
It cuts back in time to his dog.
Yeah.
And it cuts back to the present. He's with that dog and he's like, you ain't him. Mm-hmm. And then he like begrudgingly starts petting it. And like it's in him. It's like the symbol of his goodness.
Yeah, because a big part of Cooper not trusting the whole vault is because there was a rule that no dogs are allowed. And he's like, who said they can't bring no dog?
I think that's in my other notes, but I think that's hilarious that his final straw was no dogs in the vault. Now hold a goddamn minute.
No dogs allowed.
Yep. And we get the heads kissing.
Okay. That popped me pretty hard when Lucy and Maximus kiss and then it pans down and the severed heads are kissing.
Let's rewind.
I've said that term.
I don't think I
popped.
No.
I don't think I've ever heard that in my life.
You can't just use that expression casually.
That's an expression.
That popped me pretty hard.
It's when you're watching something.
I
it's so exciting.
ejaculated vigorously.
It popped you. Have
you
you ever
can't just casually say that.
Have you ever heard the phrase "pop a rating"?
No.
Wow.
I'm saying if I'm at an ice cream parlor and somebody next to me in line says, how do you feel about the pistachio?
Oh, that popped me.
I can't just say, oh, I come buckets. I could.
Why not?
I'm not going to make friends.
I just in my pants.
Oh, let me get the pistachio, please.
I'll have what he's
We
having.
get 2.
Yeah. And then Norm makes a run for it, goes to 31. Fully expected Betty to catch him in her office. I mean, that's the expectation of that scene.
Yeah.
But he's able to just chat with the guy. Betty,
You up?
come immediately. And he sneaks into 31, and that's how the episode ends, with him he hears like a metallic rattling. And he
Hello?
cuts to him, and he's like freaked out, but we don't know why. And that's the end of 7. That's what takes us to the finale. So that's where we're at currently. Tune in Wednesday to hear us talking all about the finale and everything that happened in the show. But first,
Do you want to do bobbleheads?
yeah, whatever video game Easter eggs, the bobbleheads that you guys have discovered, some really obscure ones maybe, or some really neat ones. Like one thing I don't think you guys mentioned that I got a lot of comments on in my videos was the sound the stem pack makes in episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
Was the sound it makes in the game.
I don't know if I noticed that or picked up on it.
It's like the exact same sound design, and people were really tickled by. Yeah, what else? What else did you find there, Steve?
Well, the sign when they
What
first...
made you pop?
I'll tell you what made me pop, baby. When I think Lucy's first walking into Philly, there's a sign up by one of the shops that says like salvage, buy, sell, or trade. And those are the options you're able to do with inventory items.
Oh, nice.
Like in the game.
That's nice.
Yeah.
With same area, the iguana on a stick
Yeah.
is a huge thing. I mean, we could burn through that.
All the food. You want to go with all the food?
Yeah. The Branham that she sees, the 2-headed cow.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll talk about, iguana on a stick. You got yum yum deviled eggs, sugar bombs.
I saw the sugar bombs in the basket of goods being given to Lucy.
The Blamco mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah. Fancy lad snack cakes.
Yeah. There's all almost everything.
Radaway.
Yeah.
A Braxo cleaner.
Oh, the Radaway that he gives Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even the ass jerky, I think, is what is called mystery meat.
Oh,
in the game, they call that mystery meat. You can make people into jerky.
I remember
Yeah.
Jordan eating the mystery meat.
In real life.
No, in the one he was playing Fallout 3 or
Yeah.
whatever.
There's a super mutant hand scene in episode 2, like as Michael Emerson's walking around, there's a cart being pushed, and if you see the person that's in the cart, their body's covered, but you can see their hand, and it's a giant like Hulk-looking hand.
Yeah.
And the super mutants in Fallout are just these big green Hulk-like people, and so
Yeah.
you get to see a nice little hand of a super mutant.
The Poison family she comes up on in episode 2, and the Plan D that they
Yes.
take. Those are scenes that are just littered throughout the wasteland, and I assume that it's for death. Plan D.
Yeah,
is for death.
it's the cyanide capsule. I think Michael Emerson takes it one. That's how
yeah.
he kills himself. Yeah.
I'm surprised this product didn't sell better. It tastes like lemon.
The Vault Tech water chip is at one point when they're having the meeting where they're like Zach Cherry and Reg are kind of arguing about who's in charge, and that one guy's like, hey, can I talk to you guys real quick? And they're like, no, you can say it in front of us, where transparency's key. And he goes, oh, the Vault Tech water chip is damaged.
Yeah.
That's the whole MacGuffin from the very first game.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Leaving and finding a new water
Because
chip.
they're only going to survive for like 2 weeks without a water. They never solved that problem, by the way, now that Betty's in charge.
Nope.
So the dog referred to as dog meat in the game. I think he actually says that. Is it at the end of episode 7? I can't remember.
He does. He calls him dog meat
Yeah.
right in that same scene I was just talking about.
dog meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, dog meat is a companion you get throughout, I think, the last 3 games for sure.
Oh, is it a dog?
Yeah.
Oh.
He goes and finds stuff for you and attacks people and stuff. You see Randy's Donuts. Now, this isn't in the game, but it's a pretty cool landmark that's in the background. LA, the donut place. That
Isn't that landmark used for something in the games though too?
I don't know.
I can't remember. All right. I feel like that was a thing in the game as well.
Brandy.
Leather armor, obviously. The Radiation King was one that I don't know if a lot of people will catch, but those are the actual names of the TVs. So when he's putting in that movie that he's in,
Yeah, it says Radiation
It says
King.
Radiation King on the TV. I thought that was pretty neat. Little throwback.
Aren't the lead farmers decked out in the New Vegas armor?
Yeah, the NCR Ranger armor. So, which is like coveted armor that you want to get.
It looks
Lead
pretty
farmers?
cool.
Oh, the
Like Tommy.
George Lopez?
Yeah. There are a lot of things inside the store if you pay attention.
Yeah.
What's it?
Ma June store.
Ma June store. So there's a mini nuke sitting there, which is it's basically like a rocket that you can shoot, and it's like a nuke goes off. And it actually, like, you can turn people into ghouls and stuff with that in the game. If you find the right NPC and you shoot it at them, they'll turn into ghouls.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, boy.
Dude, they hit on so much stuff throughout these. Gornak, I think, is the name of the comic or cartoon that they're watching.
Yeah. That's in episode 1, right?
Yeah, it's on the TV. Those are comics that you can find throughout all the games.
In episode 6, there's a newspaper that you can see on the ground for the Capitol Post, which is the newspaper from Fallout 3. Because Fallout 3 takes place in Washington, D.C.
And then Coop, when he's in the lobby of Vault Tech, he's got a Tesla magazine sitting on his lap.
Yeah.
And those, you can find those and increase like some of your perks.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of music. Like a lot of the music,
the ink spots, right? Isn't that the name of the band?
Episode 2, we hear "Into Each Life, Some Rain Must Fall" by the Ink Spots and Ella Fitzgerald. That's played in Fallout 3 over Galaxy News Radio with DJ 3 Dog.
Yeah.
"Don't Fence Me In" by Bing Crosby is played from Fallout 76. "It's a Man" by Betty Hutton. That is shown in Fallout 4. "I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire" by the Ink Spots is like the Fallout's "I Don't Want to Set the World." That song. That's like the Fallout song.
That's pretty good.
And then in episode 3, you get to hear "Maybe" by the Ink Spots, which is like the intro and outro of the very first Fallout game. So a lot of the songs you hear are directly pulled from, I mean, they're real life, they're actual songs, but they're pulled from the games as well.
I think Philly is kind of a play on Megaton.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Obviously, they don't have the giant nuke in the middle, but there's an airplane nose that it's hanging there that's inside of Megaton or Megatron. No, that's Megatron.
Starscream, we have to take over the planet.
You see an Assaultatron in the desert, which is which is a part of a DLC. I think it's one of the.
It's a Robco robot.
Yeah. So it's like just like a robot that helps you and shit, but you see it laying in the dirt. So
I think you fight
neat.
a bunch of them too at some point.
Yeah, there's a whole like Automatron DLC for Fallout 4 where you like go to Robco and have to fight a bunch of those things.
And then, of course, you get the Nuka-Cola stuff. There's some jet inhalers. I think one of the raiders takes a jet inhaler while they're in the thing. And then where Thaddeus leaves dog meat in the Nuka-Cola freezer bin or whatever, that's a Red Rocket gas station. That's like one of the first places you discover when you leave the vault in Fallout 4.
Yeah. It's right outside of, you go back to your like house, and then right outside of your house, there's a Red Rocket there.
Red Rocket.
Yeah. The first Cat in Space poster that was inside Mama June's, Mr. Pebbles.
Mr. Pebbles.
Yeah, so that's all over the games. All kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah. That's all the stuff I had written down. But do we want to do our top 3 favorite moments of the episodes? Our Rads moments, if you will.
Let's do it. We got to go through all 6 of the episodes. So your 3 favorite moments from all 6 of those.
We're not from each episode, right? We're just running.
Yeah, just overall.
3 total. Jimmy, let's start with you.
Oh man. I think we'll start with the big shootout. I think bringing all the main characters together in sort of a climax. I really liked it, especially to see Coop just destroy a bunch of people, or the ghoul, with a little bit of comedy coming out too. I mean, he was just wrecking house, and to hear Mama June and then Lucy and then Wiltzeg. What's the
Vilsig? I just keep calling him Dr. Emerson. It's just Michael Emerson.
It's a good clue of things to come in the rest of the series. So that was probably my number 3.
Steve, what made you pop?
I'll tell you what made me pop hard. Honorable mention. This isn't my number 3, but honorable mention to the farmer from episode 2.
Oh yeah,
That's such an awkward performance, but I kind of love it. My number 3 is them exiling Lucy from Vault 4 is very funny.
Yeah.
Like just Chris Parnell's performance, like the whole build up, like you think she's going to be murdered. And then he just like pulls out this sword and like, we banish you. And he just starts frantically trying to cut the rope. And then he's like, we're going to sharpen that later. And
Not only that, but then Maximus comes in and throwing on. They're like really nice people.
Someone should probably check on him. Like that's just really, really funny and a good fun moment.
That is a great scene.
What's your number 3, Kit?
I'm going to pull from that same episode and the cock exploding and just that whole thing.
yeah. Honorable mention.
Yeah.
That made you pop?
Yeah, just put that as my number 3. Yeah. What about you, Steve? What's your number 2? Or Jimmy, what's your number 2?
Probably when they go to get the drugs for Coop. I think that
Episode 4?
action filled comedic layout is just hilarious. With the introduction to Codsworth and just that whole I'm just going to harvest your organs.
Yeah.
I just like that whole thing, and to see a little bit more of a background on the ghoul and just him consuming all those drugs obviously takes me back. But he's like, I would share some of this with you guys, but you weren't invited to this party. And he's just doing every single thing that he can get his hands on. And
watches his movie.
Yeah, then he just sits back and watches his own movie. Mm-hmm. And another thing is we get to see Lucy kind of do something or make a choice that you get to do in the game is am I going to save all these people, or am I just going to let them die and focus on the things that I want? So obviously she made the right choice. And you see later in the episode that one guy's like, oh, there she is. That's her. So she's recognized later for the things that she did, or the actions or the choices she made. So I thought that was a great thing.
What about you, Steve? Your number 2?
My number 2 is Jimmy's number 3, the shootout in episode 2. Just a super fun, cool scene. Walton Goggins being a G.
Yeah.
And I think they really a ghoul. Yeah. That's what the G is. Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't even mean that. It's a really great scene that looks cool, but also marries the comedy of the series really, really well. And it just really shined. It's probably one of the high points of the series. What about you? Your number 2?
My number 2 is going to be Jimmy's number 2, the supermarket scene. I love that moment so much, the whole bit. And we get to see Lucy she has abilities. She's dabbled in riflery, she's special.
She's special.
That's right. So yeah, I like that whole takeover, and that's where I was truly sold on this show, was right at the midpoint of the entire thing. Jimmy, your number 1 moment of the middle episodes?
Probably the Vault 4 experience. I think that whole, from the start to finish, you learn a lot about the lore and everything behind what's going on in the world. And it's really funny. And just the interactions kind of just to say the same shit that you said when you talked about it. Just a really good scene from beginning to end, especially, it starts out funny, ends funny. And it gives you a lot of information. So I really like those interactions.
My number 1 is, and this is a little bit cheating, but I don't care. Fuck you guys. Come at me. My number 1 is just everything about the Super Duper Mart. Like if it happens in the Super Duper Mart, it's my number 1 favorite moment. I mean, from Matt Berry to Lucy setting everybody free to the little stony dudes that are just there. And then when Cooper gets in there and takes all the drugs and watches his movie and falls asleep, like all that shit.
Yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite part of the whole entire season up to this point so far. So, my number 1, Super Duper Mart. It's super duper.
It is super duper.
Well, the number 1 thing that made me pop hard was actually the moment that you used that absurd expression earlier. That whole bit at the radio station. I adore Fred Armisen. I don't know if you've ever seen Broad City, but he is the weirdest character cameo in that show. I'm just a baby.
I don't know.
I don't have any money.
Portlandia is probably one of the greatest
Fred Armisen?
series out there.
Have you seen Broad City?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
They play the 2 main characters are topless maids. They're not really, but they're doing that today.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, let's go make some cash. So they decide to clean this dude's apartment. topless. But he's got this fetish. He comes out wearing a diaper. And he's like, thanks for cleaning. I'm just a baby. I make a mess. And they're like, whatever, dude, just give us money. We'll call you whatever you want. And he's like, what's money? I'm just a baby. But it's just Fred Armisen. It's fucking ridiculous. But I love his cameo in Fallout. But more than that, it's a great emotional moment between Lucy and Max. They've decided to commit to this as their first kiss. And in true Fallout fashion, right as I'm like actually feeling something, and I'm like, these are real people caught in this extraordinary circumstance, the camera tilts down and the two severed heads that they're holding are kissing.
Yeah.
And it's
one face doesn't even have a mouth. It's just
all it has is like a bottom lip.
Yeah.
Because he squished it to look like the
An unrecognizable head.
Yeah, exactly. But I just thought that's honestly, I think, the best, shorthand or approximation of what this show is that kind of moment. Like as soon as it's a little bit sincere, we've also got the severed heads here. But I was so shocked by that and it worked so well. I just thought it was a huge standout for me.
I popped hard.
I get it, buddy. But we're really excited to visit the finale and talk about it with you folks. Tune in Wednesday for the full breakdown of episode 8 and a retrospective on the entire show, what we might expect from season 2, or at least our theories and opinions on it, right into the show at streamingthingspod@gmail.com. If you want to see somebody play the game and haven't played it before, make sure to check out X Oh My Gad X on Twitch. That's Jimmy's channel. That's GADD Gad.
It's 2 Ds for double dose. This pimping.
That's right. Thank you guys for listening. We've got to go return some videotapes. My name is Kit.
Who knows?
I'm Steve.
And this was Streaming Things.
Who the fuck is Jimmy?
Streaming Fallout. Happy streaming.